Claire Obscure Expedition 33 has been an unmitigated success. I would imagine, right? Like if you were to just go ahead and suss up a budget for budget, dollar for dollar spent on a project, this might end up being the most successful game of the year. Like I think potentially Hollow Knight could be the only other thing. Silksong specifically could end up being the only other one to challenge that. But yes, given the fact that they have been so open and honest and forthright with their audience, I mean, you can't help but cheer this game on because a month after month, you continue to get updates, and they're just out here telling you, we have sold 5 million copies. In April, we released Claire Obscure Expedition 33. 5 months later, we've sold 5 million copies worldwide. Since then, your artwork, your stories, your cosplays, and your endless creativity has been loved and appreciated by us all, and for that, we cannot thank you enough. And yeah, that's why I love to promote this game, even though I personally haven't been able to get around to play it. I do want to play it over the holiday season. It's something that I really do want to get around to. It's just I've been really bogged down and stretched for time. But yes, I'll get around to it because at some point in time I'll also finish up with my stupid Final Fantasy 15 playthrough. Oh my god, that is such a slog of a game. But no. I want to support something that, is, hey man, even though I haven't played the game, I can see the people behind it, and their story is tremendous, and there has been nothing but positivity surrounding this game. And it's interesting, right? Because 5 months later, 5 million copies, and instead of just going, oh yeah, we're so great, we're so fantastic, yeah, continue to buy our game, they're actually bringing it back to the people. By Claire Obscure Expedition 33 announces new content after crossing 5 million units. Oh my god. But Sandfall Interactive, rather, is a Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Oh, that's a funky way to phrase that, but yes, one of the highest rated games of 2025. It's going to end up being a strong contender for Game of the Year. I cannot see it not being, because it's not one of those games that came out earlier in the year, even though it did, and then just immediately fades from recognition. No, this has been a persistent presence throughout the whole year. But Sandfall Interactive is working on a massive new content update for all platforms that, the game is available on. The update includes a new playable environment, taking the game's characters on a journey to a brand new location with fresh enemy encounters and more surprises and mysteries to unravel. Additionally, challenging new boss battles are arriving for late game players to take on. And I don't know, is this going to be a free update? Because that's kind of wild. Moreover, players can expect to be able to try out new costumes for each member of the expedition, new text and UI game localizations for a whole bunch of places, supported in 19 different languages. The developers have also promised that there is more to come, which is just tremendous stuff. And that shows you right there that a game is actually successful and a studio is proud of what they worked on, which leads us to one of the more recent releases. Okay, and I know Battlefield 6 just came out yesterday, and that is overwhelmingly dominating the conversation. But on the AAA front, it's not alone, because last week you had the release of Ghost of Yotei, and it's interesting, right? As we consistently got, especially in early days, sales updates, not player count updates, but sales updates from Sandfall Interactive. But here we are a week later, and maybe that's changed. Maybe that's changed by Saturday. But on Thursday evening, spoilers, that's when I'm releasing this video, not Sucker Punch, not PlayStation have announced anything in regards to sales data. No updates at all whatsoever. But it's interesting, right? Because earlier this week, I released a video about how nobody's really talking about Ghost of Yotei. Nobody really cares about this game. Well, in the subsequent couple of days, we ended up getting a very interesting narrative. And as people have, finally gone through the game, I mean, now we're starting to get some more comprehensive reviews. And, well, Skill Up, okay, somebody who really sounded the alarm on Dragon Age the Veilguard this time last year, their review of Ghost of Yotei confirms exactly what is thought. It's more of Ghost of Tsushima, but worse. It's just the PS shills that are owning Le Chuds, the force that is gassing this game. You're not missing anything. You need to play as this ugly-ass lesbian, who's in fact going to be a father. Oh my god, man. The ending of Ghost of Yotei is exactly the same as The Last of Us 2, two lesbians raising a kid together. Well, I guess there's a little bit more context to this. Okay, it's actually more than that. Iyoki, the older lady, is the kitsune of one of the Yotei 6 that kills Atsu's family. Okay, so it would be like if this was The Last of Us Part 2, Ellie and Abby getting together and raising a kid. Okay, so Iyoki and Atsu have a weird sexual tension in the game. What the fuck? It's even weirder because Iyoki knew Atsu as a child while being a fully grown adult. Oh no, so she's a groomer as well. Jesus. And the kid they raised is Atsu's brother's kid. Yo, this is fucked. So they found So they found a way for two women to raise a kid that is biologically connected to one of them, and they just had to kill her brother to make the ending work. What the fuck, man? Okay, so it's weird how we didn't get any insight for that to begin with, because the only thing that I've heard, like outside of lol lesbians at the end, is that the game looks beautiful. Okay, it's got tremendous graphics, and you could see that. Okay, from the trailers that were out there that I was given the benefit of the doubt to. It's like, yeah, we don't really see a lot of gameplay, but fuck, man, it looks really nice. Sucker Punch can make a beautiful game. And even still, when people were talking about the actual gameplay, like, it was fun-ish to play, but it's not something that is that too different from Ghost of Tsushima from a few years back. But I was hearing nothing about the story, and this is probably why. But hey, well, I'm not necessarily sold on the game. Apparently, there's a lot of people who are, okay? So guess what, guys? Late Chuds have, in fact, been owned. Your Boycott, don't mind the leftist boycott that was out there saying that Sucker Punch were... how did they put it? Fascist collaborators, because they fired the chick that was celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. But anyways, Sucker Punch Productions' Ghost of Yotei, released on September 25th, achieved 1.6 million global sales in its first week, exceeding Ghost of Tsushima's initial performance and topping Japan's physical charts with 120,196 units. Oh, okay, interesting. That's interesting in the face of this development, as Ghost of Yotei ads quickly scaled back by Sony Japan due to collapsing sales. And when you do further investigation as to where you're getting this information on the physical Japanese sales, you see a similar through line going through on the UK side of life with Christopher Dring, one of the better number crunchers in the gaming industry. The UK box launch for Ghost of Yotei is really, really good. It is number one, which means it beat the second week for EA Sports FC. Okay, pretty good, man. And also sold 3 times what Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 on the Switch did, which, holy shit. But I think isn't that like a Switch 2 exclusive? So that's another point that we can just go ahead and say, oh yeah, how's that Switch 2 launch going? Nintendo's greed is really, beating the accusations out there, and it's not just the Nintendo suck-offs that are exciting about that floundering console. Yeah, it really is looking like the Wii U too, huh? Anyways, don't report on physical charts much, but these days, yes. But I thought that this was notable, and it would be notable until you take a look at the byline. However, it did tally a 40% decline in retail sales compared to Ghost of Tsushima, which launched in 2020, by the way. How many physical stores were out there at that point in time? And are we simply dealing with much more analogous comparison this time around than with other franchise installments? Yeah, this it's actually not good, because you got the Japanese sales numbers, which they're out there saying, oh guys, don't worry, it topped the charts, 120,000. Don't mind the ad sales just dropping down in the aftermath. But hey, globally the game has sold 2 million copies in 4 days. Yeah, and that's citing somebody whose source is Trust Me Bro. And this news is fake, as bottom text reads about bananas, and the image itself is AI generated or fan made. The source that posted it is blacked out, and there's no official sales figures released yet until Sony announces it themselves. And yeah, as we sit right now at time of recording, still haven't got any updates that are out there. But when you start to dig into these sources, the media pushes unverified Ghost of Yotei sales claim based on a tweet from a small insider account. Sony Sucker Punch stays silent. Yes, on October 3rd, 2025, an ex-user going by Millie A posted hearing 1.3 million sold on the first day of Yotei, ever so slightly ahead of Tsushima's first 24 hours at 1.25. Yeah, interesting, huh? Tsushima kept on pace with its second day with another 1.15 million. Can Yotei keep up? The account has roughly 9,100 followers and has shared a supposed industry insights before, but no verifiable sources were providing the sales figures, and that still hasn't been the case outside of, hey guys, trust us, Japan and UK love this shit. And so even if you're wondering if the game is floundering, okay, if all of the negative PR leading up to and eclipsing its launch ended up having a knock-on effect, well, there's another corporate through line that is very strong with this game right now, is that if you don't like Ghost of Yotei, you're just clearly a misogynist. It's like, I thought we were past this in gaming, but apparently not. I genuinely feel bad for anyone that refuses to play video games with female protagonists. Who the fuck is actually doing that? Because yeah, if you take a look in 2025, and we talked about it, at the beginning of this video, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, it's got 2 of them right there that I see awfully prominently displayed. And yeah, I didn't realize that Silk Song the Hollow Knight from Hollow Knight Silksong is a woman, but all right, then you got Alex from Half-Life, and then you've got one of my personal favorites, and somebody I could talk about at length is Tifa, and especially about how she's depicted in the remake trilogy so far. Like, she's probably my favorite character, and she is complex as shit. Britt Baron as her voice, like I said, man, I could talk about her at length. Fun to play, the dialogue is tremendous, and honestly, the more I talk about it, the more I want to ditch my Final Fantasy 15 playthrough and just go through remake again. For what would it be at this point in time if I am to factor in, normal and hard mode playthroughs, like 5th or 6th time? Listen, I love those games unabashedly, so it'll just be interesting to go back to remake, just how stunted that game is in comparison to Rebirth. But I digress. But yes, as it is pointed out here, write a female character as a fully realized person, not just as a vehicle for feminist commentary. We've all heard before. People love it, and no one seems to have any issue with it. But yes, no, it's definitely misogyny that's out there. And this is exactly the same track record we have seen time and time and time again. Whenever a game comes out and it ultimately flops. Oh, you just don't like trans people, and you're a bigot. That's why Dragon Age the Veilguard failed. Oh, you're a racist. That's why Assassin's Creed Shadows failed. And oh, you just hate women. That's why Ghost of Yotei is in the process of failing. I really did thought that we moved past this, but hey, when in doubt and when you can't find your own substantive arguments, just trot out the ones that are tried and tested. That'll obfuscate from your bad game. But before we wrap up, I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping, okay? Like, I'm not going to make this a habit. For the next couple of days, I just wanted to do this. So yesterday and today, I'm just promoting the fact that after the revelations from a couple of weeks ago that the Biden White House was trying to tamp down on free speech. No, not by suppressing a perpetually unfunny multi-millionaire and just, giving him a couple of days off from his unwatchable late night show. But yes, if you were discussing the coup for certain political issues back in the cut, well, you were just, victim of actual suppression of free speech. And I was among them, because I used to have a little secondary channel where I would discuss health and wellness, lifestyle, finances, just a bunch of stuff that I'm personally interested in based on my background. I'm a certified exercise physiologist. I got a bachelor in science and all that stuff. So yes, I know a thing or two about picking up heavy things and putting them back down, what you should be eating, and all that type of stuff. So that's the type of stuff that I like to do outside of the main channel, what normally dominates most of my time throughout the day. But yes, I used it at that point in time when I had the secondary channel as just a little bit of an outlet. I still did that content over there on Rumble, and if you're watching this video over on Rumble, every day at 6 o'clock throughout the week, okay, you end up getting a little short 3, 5, 7, no longer than 10-minute long video. But hey, I filed an appeal earlier this week, and guess what? Your boy got his channel back, which is fantastic stuff. So over the weekend, probably when you guys are watching this right now, I'll be hopefully updating this. I'll be updating this channel, maybe the main channel as well. We'll see. I got some ideas and things that I want to do in order to breathe some life back into a couple of these channels that are getting a digital brick shit down their throat. But yes, if that sounded like, if you like some videos that are about, fitness, wellness, nutrition, supplementation, lifestyle, finances every once in a while. If you like some of that off the beaten trail content where it's a lot more laid back, it's a lot more snappy, fast-paced, a lot shorter form content, and this type of stuff that you can anticipate. I mean, you take a look at the last video that was published on the channel, very prescient, especially in light of recent revelations. A little something about ibuprofen back in 2023 when shit like this was kicking off, when it was all right to go ahead and question the major narrative because Orange Man wasn't in charge. But yeah, interesting how that one's right there. But yes, if you like that type of stuff, the link will be in the description moving forward to the secondary channel. And yes, I would appreciate it. I know it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but if it sounds like something that you could be interested in, feel free to go check out some of these videos. A lot of this stuff is evergreen, and I have a hell of a lot of fun doing it. So yes, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.